What do you got there? Oh, that's hot. Let's see that freaking.
That ain't me.
No, I think the wire.
Just the insulation.
Yeah.
Ooh, almost knocked it over.
Fine.
Some black tape. That is not appropriate.
Black tape matters.
Black tape
Oh
matters.
my god, here we go. That is not appropriate.
Yeah. So, are we gone?
Yep, you've been gone for a while.
Okay.
We're gone.
We're gone.
You're gone. Whoa.
Shut up. Let me see where we're going here. Number
Tony
5.
Cortez says I'm going to come do a flyby since I'm in town. Are we going to have to push your Ford down the road?
What?
Tony drives a big old Ford truck.
Oh, fuck, dude.
You're going to do a flyby.
Could
You
pull
gonna
this
push
house
by.
down. That's good stuff. Highly recommend ginger ale. Is that thing climbing like a speedometer or what? Not really, huh? Yeah.
They're probably gonna wait till like 8,
Back
10.
it up, Ricky. So that means he can back up his Ford.
Tell him I'm racing for pink slips.
You gotta race them with something applicable.
I'll race him with my damn RC car. I don't give a shit.
Hey, you missed that
That's
last
not
week.
applicable.
I watched it.
What am I doing here? We are live. Register 35. Yeah, guys, please refrain from asking us questions and calling us and stuff while we're doing the show.
I only have my phone.
Unless you're one of our sponsors, or something like that.
Or you want to give us some money, or
Yeah. or you know, it's you know, bona fide to do that. Which I had to have that talk with my mom because, as you all know, the faithful followers a couple weeks ago, my mom called 10 minutes into the show. I'm like, Ma, I'm on the camera. Oh, I'm sorry. My mom's a badass.
Should have had her on the show.
What do you know about RC cars? I used to drive Dan's punk ass to racing every weekend.
Every weekend. Dude, when I was a kid, my mom would drive deep. We'd get up at 5 in the morning and go to Sacramento. I mean, she did some awesome stuff, dude. We went to a race in Oregon once. We went around a lot. We did a lot of racing, a lot of off-road, a lot of oval. It's climbing. Let's get started. Welcome to episode 17 of nprc Talk, brought to you by 707 Streetcars. I'm Daniel Judd, your host, and as always, I have two of my closest friends and co-hosts here, Ricky Bellotti and Randy Vieira. Tonight we're going to have just kind of a short segment on Chargers, what we use, how we use them. We're not going to get too in-depth with every single aspect of the Chargers. Because these Chargers do so much that it's you know, half of you, if you were to purchase one of these, probably wouldn't use half the features. But these Chargers, it's nice to know you have those features. So I want to give some shouts out. I want to give a shout out to Troy Schroeder of Phantom RC Products. Yeah, that's what I thought. Phantom RC Products, motors, batteries. They do. We got a power supply by Phantom here. Phantom makes all these fancy leads that we're going to be showing you. Really top-notch racing company, been around since the 80s, and I run their stuff because I love it. It works good and it's fast. So if you're just getting into RC, drag racing, excuse me, the ginger ale's got me off the chart tonight. Or you're looking to upgrade your existing software or hardware or equipment or whatever you want to call it. You know, go to Phantom if you're looking for some of the products that you see here. And, you know, you're in the market to get a new battery or to get a new motor or to get maybe you really like these Chargers after this episode and you want to get the same power supply that we got. which I think that this one is mine. It's technically a Motive, and it does the same thing. It's the exact same thing. I bet you they were probably made in the exact same company. Even the front is 3D printed. Yeah, these are the same. They're the same ones. I bought this actually before I was with Phantom, and then after we got together with Phantom, I already had it, and Ricky didn't have one, so he bought the actual Phantom one. Which I'm kind of jealous because that Phantom one's just...
We got a question already.
Okay.
And I feel at liberty to answer this. If your internal resistance of a battery is 7.6, yes, it's bad.
Yes.
My Phantom packs are 0.05.
That's really bad. Yeah, we'll get into that. We'll get into internal resistance. Yeah.
I just wanted to answer it before it got lost in the...
Yeah, because we get, average of 350, 400 comments during the show. Troy Schroeder, if you're watching, if this gets to you, we love you, man. Thanks for everything you've done for us. Phantom RC Products, go check them out. Buy some of their stuff and bring some W's home. Our next shout out I want to give out to Paul Peterson, Shark RC Bodies. All of you that are watching by now know that we teamed up with Shark a couple months ago and persuaded Mr. Paul to make these bodies in a lighter compound with a couple little changes so we could use them for drag racing. And he was interested, and the rest is history. So if you're new and you're just watching this and you don't have a Shark RC body, you haven't bought a body yet, check them out. Probably the most aero bodies on the market. That's why these bodies weren't made to look scale. These bodies were to look, badass and not look like anything. They're supposed to work, and that's why we jumped on board with Paul. So Paul, if you're watching, also he does dirt oval stuff. So if you're out there, Bill, in TV land on Facebook, and you catch this, you catch it on YouTube, and you're also into dirt oval, and you're looking for a Midwest, body or a late model or anything like that, check out Paul's stuff. His stuff is awesome. To Steve Negri of RCRI, RC Racing Innovations, make high dollar chassis. This is with the chassis, I should say high dollar, high quality at a low buck. So these chassis are about, $130, something like that. This is the Black Widow chassis. This is what we use on most of our race cars. And they work really, really good. So they make a lot of other stuff, wheelie bars. The wheelie bars are on here, RCRI. And yeah, it's some of the best stuff on the market. We're very, very appreciative of having him as a sponsor. So the next sponsor that I'd like to give a shout out to is Michael Carvalho at Flash Packs. If you need a Flash Pack, if you haven't got a Flash Pack, if you're looking to upgrade the existing Flash Pack that you have right now, contact Flash Packs, Cat Packs. Or Michael Carvalho on the he's one of the friends on my Facebook page. He's also with 707. He's with these guys.
He now has a distribution in Canada.
Okay, so right there, guys, for the guys up in Canada. I don't remember
the guy's name, but he does have one.
Flash Packs will be being distributed through a Canadian distributor for you guys up in Canada, which is awesome. So the further we can reach out, the bigger the sports get. So I want to give a shout out to Justin Holt, RC Mats. These things are awesome. These mats, they've been flying off the shelf. He does custom order. He can do just about any kind of graphic you want on it. And it's just really cool stuff. So if you're looking for a good pit mat, they really work good in the pits, and your stuff doesn't roll away, and it's just you go to any big race and everybody on their table is going to have a nice pit mat. So this is what we came up with here.
I'll give a shout out to Justin Terpstra. He teamed up with Bombshell RC, and they are making these bars. He sent me a set to try out. Put them together today. Gonna try them out, see what they do. So
put them on one of the non-sponsored cars,
yeah.
And see if they work.
Put them on Chase's car.
There you go. Yeah, and that car's moving, boy. I'll tell you what, Ricky Bellotti here's got an 11-year-old son that if you show up at a race and race him, watch out, man. I'm telling you. I hope you take your Wheaties because this kid is on it. This kid he's fast.
I'm almost scared to line up next to him.
Right? Right?
Should do that on Sunday after.
Robert Knighton of rctags.com up in Washington. He does custom graphics on the internet, and he does custom vinyl. He does all kinds of not only vinyl decals but also printed stuff with like stuff on it. So he does the miniature license plates that we have. I have a stack of them. You guys they'll all be out there at. Actually, he's going to be one of the vendors that sets up at Race Wars. So what's up to Robert Knighton with rctags.com and KV Kings, everybody. And, you know, this is something that I was thinking about this week. You know, there's not the 707 guys and the Lake County guys or Lake NPRC. I don't know if you guys have realized this yet, but your guys' area code is 707. When somebody says 707, it's not us down here and then you guys are Lake up there. We are all 707. So, you know, we have this sister county that does Lake, as in Lake County, Lake NPRC. And they're our sister county. They're a great group of guys. Really, really frank and Lally. Lally's awesome. Just a lot of the guys out there are really nice guys. It's why I love being in the sport, is to meet nice guys that have the same enthusiasm for the same, you know, stuff that I do. So I think there's a shout out you want to give out
to Jason Snyder at Ross Bean Tires. He's actually talked to him. He's gonna. I'm trying to talk him into coming up to Race Wars. And
that would be really cool. We'd love to have
I told him I'd have a spot set out. He can set up a booth.
Absolutely.
I don't know if he's going to be busy that weekend or not. But
let me put it this way: you show up at 707 Streetcars and 707's big Race Wars in September. You will sell some tires. Your name, anybody that shows up as a vendor at that, knowing that people are coming from our show to this, and it's such a big thing that tornadoed out of control. You know, it's not just the sales you're going to make, because that's the little end of it. But anybody that sets up a vendor booth, their name is going to be really seen. I mean, this thing, we're gonna go live with a bunch of it. I'm going to be up announcing on the microphone. I'll be the MC, and then. Randy's actually not going to be any part of any of that because he's racing. He wants to compete in it. And then Ricky Bellotti here and Gabe Abramson. What's up, Gabe? What's up, Gabe? Come on, guys. What's up, Gabe? They're going to be running tech, real strict tech. I had wrote it in our rules for Race Wars that these are the rules. You know, if you don't abide by them, then that's it. You know what I'm saying? And a buddy of mine who's local around here reached out to me, and he said, you know, could you word it different for other guys or whatever? Because it seems kind of harsh. And I never got a chance to go back and reword it, because I think it's kind of, as much as I do agree with this gentleman. So if this gentleman, I won't say his name, really close old-time RC friend of mine, if you're watching, I totally agree with what you said. But it has been spread out so much over the internet that to go reword that would take just a team of scientists to find out where it all went. I mean, you're talking 150 different NPRC sites all over the nation. It would just be impossible to do. And aside from that, I'm not upset with not being able to change it due to the fact that everybody knows what the standard NPRC rules are. You know it's not going to pass tech. You know it's going to pass tech. You got 3 months to get your car ready for this, and test and tune if you were doing something different with something new that you know collaborates with the rules. We don't have a lot of rules. We have the standard rules that nobody's ever going to change. And should we go over the rules really quick? Okay. Number one, car has to be short course truck or SCT truck base. So whether it's a low seat, it's an Associated, it's a Traxxas, it has to be short course wheelbase, which is I think it says 13 to 14. 12 to
13.5, I think is what it says.
Yeah, and you have to take into consideration that some of these cars, when they're sitting on the ground, they're only 12.9 or 13, and when they lift up, there's so much caster in the thing that the wheels actually swing forward, and now they're 13.2 or something like that. And we're okay with that. We know it's a short course truck. Don't worry about that. But yeah, the car has to be, or the vehicle has to be short course truck length, as well as the body. The body, as long as it's short course truck size, and it's covering all four wheels in some sort. I don't care if you got holes drilled in it. I don't care if you got a big wing on it. I don't care if you got a big chicken mohawk going down the roof. I really don't care. The rules never stated anything about that. It's kind of a bit an open canvas. The car has to have all four rubber tires. The car has to have at least some kind of shock absorber in each four of the corners that is actually working. No lockouts. There will be absolutely no gyros or assist, and we will be checking for this. We know we've been into RC for probably a combination of 70 years. And we know what receivers to look for and stuff. So no gyros, no whatever you want to call them to help you drive the car. And then a 2S battery that can be charged no more than 8.44 max, and that's another big thing we'll be checking. So if you guys are planning on coming out with some high voltage stuff, we're going to catch it. Don't even bother. And then the last big thing is the tires. You guys can condition the tires all you want. You can use Simple Green or ProTech or WD-40 or whatever. But that tire, let's do this. I have a real just to absolutely completely clear the air up. Let's do this.
Dun, 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 dun.
Dun, 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 dun. We're gonna so-called prep one of our tires and show you the different things we can put on it really quick, and then we're gonna just set it aside. And then when it's time to imaginarily run the race, I'm gonna show the camera the tire and see that it all went away. I have been at races where the guys are like, dude, that's just that whatever traction compound that you say is okay, it's just not dry yet. That's bullshit. I know that A, you would never put your car on the ground with your tire wet, or B, you're just saying that because the tire's got something else on it and it doesn't dry and it stays sticky, and that's what I'm going to believe. So, no, I want to use a brand new tire.
Everybody scatter.
Here, these are close enough.
There.
There you go. The reactions are almost brand new.
Yeah, okay. So grab me one of Jake's things, and then the ProTech white roll-on.
Whoa, you got the...
Yeah, grab me one of those.
Yeah, but why that? I thought the colors were different.
They changed the label at some point. The labels were brighter or something.
And this one?
Yep. And then some baby wipes. Actually, we...
Oh!
Oh, you got it going on like Donkey Kong, dude.
What?
That.
Oh.
You were like, disassemble 1983 Camaro, Johnny 5, disassemble. For anybody that is 35 and older, you might get that joke.
Randy, did you get that joke?
I know exactly what that's from.
You're not even 35.
I'm like you, I'm old enough to know what that movie is.
Okay, so I'm going to let Randy do this. Yay! So let's just say Randy got to the track and Randy hasn't run his car yet, or Randy already ran his car and he's done running his car, his race is over, he's got to go back, and out of all the things you're going to prep your car for the next race, whether it's charging the batteries or checking the nuts and bolts or cleaning the body or whatever it is, one of the things is a big must that you got to do is you got to condition the tires again. So the first thing Randy's going to do is he is going to take his dirty tire and he's going to use a simple baby wipe. I suggest everybody get some of these.
You get them at the dollar store.
Huggies, Pampers.
They work really good. And he's just going to clean all that dirt off the top of the tire. We want to know that any kind of conditioner that we're going to put on it for the sun to react with before it dries and softens up the rubber and makes them a little grabbier is actually getting applied clean.
Let's speed this up.
Or you can do that, yeah.
Well, it's still wet.
And that's okay to do. That's totally okay to do. So that is just your average. I think these ones are Pampers. You can get it's not just Pampers. It's. I think I got another thing of them over there. It's some other company.
That's Pampers
I
too.
buy the big box at Costco.
Or yeah, if you can afford
Well, you
that,
got a
then you
little
never
kid
run
that
out
needs
of them.
I buy them from the dollar store because they're $1.
So we have some things here.
They go half and half.
This one I actually bought to try it out, and I don't use that. So this is a same bottle I've had in my thing for about 2 years. This is what I use, and it is ProTech Red. And ProTech Red is just if you go onto like A-Main or your local hobby shop or whatever, and just ask them. The company's ProTech, which I believe is an A-Main brand. And it's just a red tire conditioner, and it's mainly used in like sedan racing or whatever. But what this is going to do is this has a chemical in it that's going to not only soak into and evaporate completely 110%, but as it does that, it will work with your car sitting in the sun to not only heat the tires, but it gets them pretty damn sticky. You doing half and half?
Yeah.
Well, you're getting all tricky on me. He's tricky. Oh, that'd be you, huh? Ricky. Never mind.
This one smells a little bit.
Yeah.
Don't use it in your inside.
I wish we had some heat to set on it.
You can go stand in front of that light.
Well, I got that little heater right there.
Put it next to that light.
Yeah, but I want them to stay in the camera frame so everybody knows we haven't done anything to them. It's fine. Just let it sit there and dry. It'll dry. It's warm enough in here.
Front side, Jake stuff.
So anyway,
Back
guys,
side.
we're looking. If I have anything, if I can do this to your tires, which we will do in tech. If I can do that with my thumb, and then I can feel my skin sticking to it, like there's something on my thumb, then you're going to be given 4 or 5 minutes to change your tires. And if you refuse to, then you can sit out the race. You can forfeit. That's just a big thing. You know, I want anybody to come to the race and say, we didn't know. I mean, these guys know. You guys have been racing. You know what I'm saying?
Gloves are for girls, Paul.
Gloves.
Is it gloves, man? Gloves.
I think that was Paul's like startup. That was his running up.
Getting there, warming up.
Asking if you were wearing your boxers, bro, was the
Yeah,
the startup.
I'm wearing my my red, white, and blue. My oldest is here visiting, and she's like, "Dad, you've been wearing those for 3 days." I said, "No, I have 3 pairs of them." When you see some badass American flag shorts for the summer, and they're on clearance, you buy a couple pair of them. I
And you
mean,
wear
it's just
them
a
all summer
patriotic
long.
thing to do.
Ooh, that stuff does
It's
smell.
already started to dry.
Half of it is.
Oh.
ProTech needs the sun.
Yeah.
Way to use that hot air, Randy.
So the first time I ever saw this stuff being used was actually at one of my night cash day races, and I told him, "You're not using that shit." I said, "Go or stuff." You're go change your tires. And there was a big discussion about it, and then a couple people tested it out, and our race master actually allowed it. I'm still not 100% convinced that it doesn't leave something on the tire, but the ProTech is mainly like after he wipes the tire down with a baby wipe. Then the ProTech is almost like rubbing like a simple green on the tire. I mean, it's going to evaporate in a couple minutes, 4 or 5 minutes, and it's gone. Now, what it's done is conditioned the tire and softened the rubber and left a completely sanitized surface behind. So those tires, even when I touch my tires to see when they're ready, I'll just touch them with my finger because just the oils from your hands, and boom, you got a contaminated tire. It's not going to hit the same. And yes, if you go out there and you do this to your tires, and then you race a race, and another race is coming up in 15 minutes, don't stand there. Run back to your pit and do this again. You have to do this between every race. It's just part of what we do. So yeah, it's actually only about 65 degrees in here, so it might take a couple minutes for that stuff to evaporate.
Well, that bottle's doing pretty good.
You see? See, I'm not feeling anything. Now that's the Jake stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm not feeling anything.
The tires stick itself, but it doesn't. Tiny bit.
And here's another thing too. Anything sticky on a tire, whether it's illegal or it's just teetering on the edge of being illegal, the stickier you make the tire and you don't just clean it and condition it, the harder it is to run because the tire will does what we call glazing. So it's sticky. You do your hit. And the heat from the burnout and the heat from the hit actually solidifies the stuff. And by the time you bring your car back after that one run, you got half of a gravel box stuck to your tires. And now it's going to take you 20 minutes to clean those tires up. So I would... I can feel a little something on my finger. Hey, what do you think, Randy? Or Ricky? So this side is the ProTech, this side is Jake's.
Like
A little bit.
You can feel it on your finger, dude. Yeah, but this is what I'm looking for. Feel that?
it doesn't come off either. My fingers still feel like crap.
So what are we going to do? We're going to outlaw this stuff right now for a race?
Do you baby
Because if we
wipes?
let this in...
Look.
Yep,
Look at the strings. See that?
Oh, yeah.
sure does.
Hold that.
Yeah. I mean, it might be different on a hot day,
look.
but
No, when I looked over, I saw a spider web.
Yeah. You can see it. Just roll your finger back.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so this
It
stuff.
might be different on a hot day, but right now I would say that's.
It's a negative, Ghost Rider. The pattern is full.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to
Yeah,
make
there
the
you
call
go.
whether it makes people for my race, Race Wars, our race. This stuff, stick ET capped traction compound is officially illegal.
Stick it.
There.
Yeah.
Just so people want to see what I'm doing here.
Oh yeah, Ricky's over here heating up the tire at the light.
He's
Burning
get
my fingers.
he's getting sunburnt.
For you people.
Don't look into the
It's like
light.
fucking. You can cook a chicken in front of me. Watch my French, but you can cook a chicken in front of these lights.
Do you
Can't
still,
get it anymore.
do you still
What's
want
up,
this?
Brian Spencer? What's up, Ray Myers?
Hunter says you can't get it anymore.
Tina's watching. Dale Townsend. Hunter Stewart is watching. What's up, Hunter? Yeah, I mean that was I never thought of to give it that kind of test. I just felt something on it's still on my fingers. I mean I can still feel it.
That stuff's not.
It's not going away.
Oh, there you go. The other stuff kind of.
Which side was? Oh yeah.
This is
Front of the
Jake's.
rim is
That's
sticking.
The Protect's still red or wet.
Yeah, it's a little bit.
See, you would never, you can't say that you put something sticky on your tire and just said, it's not sticky, it's just not dry yet, because you'd never put your car on the ground with something that wet, because it would just burn the tires off. So, I'm sorry, I've never given it a spider web test, and that stuff is leaving a spider web. Yeah, we just did. So, no stick ET at Race Wars.
Hunter says you can't get it anymore.
Oh, there's Spiderweb right there.
Well, there you go. There you go. So, what we're looking for, guys, Trinity makes a traction compound that's really good. ProTech makes a couple of them. You're looking for, it's not tire prep. It's tire compound or tire conditioner. And all it does, like I said, man, it just really cleans the surface and it softens the rubber up, and you use the sun right after you put it on. And you'll see me at my races. Every 5 minutes, I'll walk over to my car and I'll spin the wheels 180, and I'll let the sun heat them up and evaporate the stuff. And then I'll come back and I'll spin them 180. And that's how I threw out right before my race, how I keep my tires warm in the sun. The sun.
How slippery that is, I wouldn't even run that.
Well, you
But
got to
then
remember
again, the
that's
sun
on
might
a
be a little
Proline
different.
reaction too.
Yeah.
That rubber sucks. So.
Cause that's like slick.
Yeah, no, it is. You would never set your car down and run it on that. But yeah, that stuff, wow. So I was right. A couple months ago when I flagged that guy at my race, I won't say who he was, and I love the guy to death. I wanted him to run, and I gave him a couple minutes. I said, look, man, I don't want to kick you out of the race. I said, I'm going to give you, I gave him 2 minutes. I said, go, you got another set of tires? If not, I'll give you some, but you got 2 minutes to freaking change them. And he changed them, and he actually ended up still winning his race. So, but then after that, a lot of guys were going down and going, dude, look at all the marks. And then we'd go out and we'd touch the marks, and the ground still has sticky on it. We're like, well, dude, that's prep. So get used to using something, guys, before Race Wars. I don't want to have to flag anybody or have to pull them aside and say, look, I need to give you 5 minutes to go change your tires. I don't want to have to do that. So just come legit.
So just for the record, in Vegas, I didn't use none of that stuff. All I used was
Baby wipes. Baby wipes. You know, on most days, if I got a fresh set of tires and that thing's hitting like a son of a bitch, I will just use baby wipes. Sorry.
You need to raise your hand if you got a question, Paul.
Oh, great. Now we're going to have hand emojis.
We're talking out of turn, Paul. Again, Paul Peterson is he's a guy we get to joke around with on our shows. He's the owner of Shark RC Bodies.
Buster.
And he's really, 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 as of right now, he told me today, or it was yesterday, that all the Shark Bodies that were pending are 100% shipped out and everything's done. And now his dirt oval's starting to pick up. And I told him
again, guys.
Yeah, well, even though we still get our tricklers, the ones that come in every, a couple of them a week, that just found out about the bodies and they want them. I keep telling them, I said, hey, don't think that everybody is just done buying them, because nobody's racing yet. Now we're in the last couple of weeks, everybody's starting to race. You're going to have guys wanting to build a backup body, or they're going to ruin their body, or they're going to spill something on their body, or these bodies will continuously, once you get those customers and those people believe in, that is just the the design, dude. The bee's knees. You have customers that come back, especially with a guy like Paul. And I think we went over this last. One of the things you're getting with a small company like Paul with Shark Bodies, I mean, he's spending time on the phone with people trying to get them to trim it right and make so they're happy with the body when it's all done. And you just don't get that kind of stuff with a big company. So I think that's really far out. Really cool guy. I love Paul. So.
This stuff won't wash off either. Also, what about you just tell the guys to wash their tires? But if it's something like the Stick It, it's chemical based, so it's not.
So even after a baby wipe, it's still on there.
Yeah, it's. Yeah,
Isn't there white residue?
The white is the fuzz off the baby wipe.
Ooh.
It's the chemicals, so it's not gonna come off with just a baby wipe. You have to use another chemical to strip it.
What's up, Rick Turner? Rick's one of our local guys. Rick does quite a bit of traveling. Rick happens to be
it's only on like 5 top
lists. 5 different lists. What's up, Kobe? Kobe's out of Texas with the RCDRL and all those guys. What's up, guys? Everybody in Texas, or I should say Tejas. No, I'll just say Texas. Yeah, I've never met anybody down in Texas that was a jerk. I mean, they're all really nice people. Jill Miller and Jeremy and Steve Negri. He's down there with all those guys. RCRI. Yeah, just good people. So let's dive into some of this Charger stuff here. So this is a battery charger. Actually, you want to do me a favor and just unplug and bring the high tech over here. Just take the 110 out of the back and bring the whole kit and caboodle over. Actually, you can probably take an octopus out of the lead out of the back or the front of it too. Yeah, they're a little tight.
Might as well unplug everything then.
Well, because now I gotta plug all that shit back in. I mean, stuff back in.
We've been dropping all kinds of bombs tonight. I was over there.
God, you guys talk about me.
For the guys that can't, this sport's for everybody, and for the guys that can't afford something like this, these chargers, they aren't cheap. What are they, about $300 brand new?
Those?
$350?
They're about $300.
So, we'll get into why we use this charger, and what the benefits of it are, and how that once you start doing these things with this charger, how it is a step up over this. But if you if you only got $80-100 to throw in it, I highly recommend. I've had this one for about 3 years now. I actually had it before I had one of these, before I knew about what I'm about to tell you. And this has been a really good charger. I still use it. I use it on all my 4-cell packs for my Techno. I use it for just everyday farting around the laboratory, and dyno and a motor needed to charge a 2S pack to do that or whatever. But it's a really good charger. So if you want a charger that's durable, your local hobby shop can probably get them. For us, you can get these if you're local here, or you want to order. You can contact Jake at Jake's Performance Hobbies, or Hunter or Tim at 707-586-3375. They'll be more than happy to take care of you guys and get you one of these chargers. This is a great little charger. This is about as high end as you can go, and as far as what it does, without really stepping up to like the F1 stuff. And that's what this stuff is. If this is this isn't the beat up street stocks at your local dirt oval track. This is the big 410 guys that come in once a month to put on a show for the crowd. But these guys, this is NASCAR. Actually, I'm going to say F1 because I'm not happy with NASCAR right now. But this is the F1 of a charger. So this is just a high tech. It's a dual port charger, so it'll do two batteries at once. And it will discharge at 2 amps, which is the problem for racing, and it will charge at 10 amps, which is awesome for everyday stuff. But we wanted to go beyond that, and to go beyond that, to all of this stuff transfers down to getting one thing out of the battery, and that's called a low IR, or low internal resistance of a pack. And the way you achieve that is you charge at a high rate out of storage charge, you discharge at a high rate, and then you charge back up at a high rate a third time, and you're ready to rock. That battery's been cycled. That battery has lowered the IR. If you were to take this pack and it had been sitting here for a couple weeks, and let's say it was at 765 or 770, a storage charge or whatever, and I charged it up on this at 10 amps, and then went out and ran it. Would it be powerful? Yeah, it would. It'd be really powerful. But the IR of the battery would probably be like 2.0, and that's really bad. And the more you do this kind of conditioning with this big amperage stuff, the more you're lowering the IR. So a good IR on a good pack, a local racer of mine, Matt, what's up, Matt, told me one time that a good average pack, when it's had the IR lowered, is about 1.0 or anything under that. And these Phantom packs, we actually got one to 0.5, which is Ricky did here last week, trying out some of this new equipment, and that's just unheard of. Now, what that means is when the charger is pushing in voltage to the pack, or when the pack is on a discharger or in your car trying to let that voltage out, the internal resistance, the resistance that the battery has, will actually affect the performance of the car. So if you have a battery that was just charged at 10 amps and it's got a 2.0 or 1.9 IR, and you put that and you know, let's say you do a hit and it's 2.4 seconds, okay? And then you put a pack in that's been conditioned at 25 or 30 amps and it's got an IR of 0.5, you're going to pick up 2 or 3 miles an hour. You're going to pick up a battery, and if these batteries get a little warm, that's okay. These batteries, you don't want them hot, but these batteries do like to get a little warm, and the IR too, when you're charging them, you get a little heat out of them, and that lowers the IR as well too. So the way I kind of like to describe it, I think we did this in one of our early videos, and that is, picture a funnel, and you know you can pour all this oil into it, and it fills the funnel up, but the funnel will only drain as fast as the little hole is at the end. Well, the more you lower the internal resistance of the motor, the more you're opening up that hole. So if your oil that you've poured into the funnel is your electricity, okay, and you want that out, you want it to come through when it comes out through the bottom of the funnel, that's going into the car. Well, you want that hole bigger so that it can just drop in, and that's pretty much what we're doing with the batteries. We're trying to lower the internal resistance of the batteries so that they're a better peak performer once you hit the tarmac. So this is a good battery. If this is in your budget, I highly recommend getting one. Or what did I say? Battery? Oh, well, yeah, you could get a Phantom battery. Phantom products. PhantomRC.com. Phantom. Okay, so what is this charger called? Hey, Ricky.
Icharger.
It's an Icharger. Who makes it?
Icharger.
No. You know, I forgot the name of the company too. But you can
I just
just
looked at the box. But
this is it 406 or 49?
this is a 406.
406. So this is the Duo 406 Icharger.
It's Hill RC.
What is it?
Hill RC.
Hill. That's it. Okay. And you can get one of these. Your local hobby shop can get you one of them. You know, you can, if you Google it online, you can find it. I highly recommend you try and, you know, even if you have to pay a couple extra bucks, get it through your local hobby shop. Support local. But this battery charger is a Duo, just like this one. Now, granted, this battery charger, this will do lithium polymer. This will do lithium phosphate. It will do nickel cadmium. It will do nickel metal hydride. It will charge and discharge. It will do storage mode. So it does quite a bit. But this one will not only do that, but it takes it one step further. And what I mean by that is that this thing doesn't just charge at 10 amps. It charges at up to 40 amps? 30 or 40.
40.
So that's a really high blast. Now, granted, you always want to do this when you really know what you're doing and you're using a good battery. Don't take a $23.99 two-cell pack that you got off of eBay and try and do this with. You'll blow it up, okay? You'll catch your house on fire. By watching this, you are signing an agreement saying that you won't burn your house down and that Daniel Judd gave you charging advice, okay? But anyway, we do charge at a higher amperage with this to lower the internal resistance of the battery pack. And that is a little dangerous for the pack unless you're using a pack that's designed for it. Now, that brings me back to the same episode that we did about batteries. We talked a little bit about batteries. We had some batteries out here and stuff. The charge rate.
70 amps.
It'll do 70 amps.
Holy cow.
Wow.
That's what Jasmine just said.
That'll fry. I mean, that'll just charge anything. Like when Iron Man's suit went up to 304% charge. He's like, awesome. And he hit the turbo boosters. Whatever, dude. Anyway. Okay, where was I? This will do all of those as well. Now, anybody who's ever paid attention to the numbers on your charger, let's say you just do a standard charge on this 2S pack, and you charge it up, and let's say your pack gets to, when it's fully charged and shuts off, you check it, and it's 839 or it's 841. Well, that's because this thing will always bring it up to peak, and then it starts to overcharge it a little bit before it shuts it off. So it never gets up to 840 or 844 perfectly. It's always a little bit below, and depending on the pack and the time of day and the way the wind's blowing, they can fluctuate. This thing, you can actually set each cell in the battery to charge at 4.22, which equals 844. So it knows to bring both of those up to right where you want it, because you've already pre-designated the 422 and the 422, which equals a perfect 844, which is the max for this class. So you're not just letting this thing take a guess for you at 839 or 841. You know that every time you pull that pack off of that charger, it's going to be at 844 right then and there. So not only do you want to charge at a high rate of amperage, you also want to discharge. Now, there's a couple different ways of doing it. This is a much nicer discharger. This discharger hooks up through the Icharger here, and then your battery's hooked up into the other side. So when you're using a discharger on the Icharger like this, you can only charge one battery at a time, even though it's a duo. So what this will do is you'll set it over here, it will charge the battery up to your designated numbers, and then the charger will automatically know to cycle the battery and click over to the discharger and discharge it at your pre-desired amperage. And then when it hits its pre-desired bottom end, whether it's 770 or 760 or whatever, it will know to click back over and charge it the second time. So this thing knows what it's doing. And in doing that, you can create different profiles for different batteries. So let's say you got one battery that is really good battery and you charge it at 30 amps or 25 amps. So you can make a profile to do all the discharging and charging at that amperage. And you have another pack that, you know, it's a good pack, but I wouldn't really, you know, I don't want to push it that hard. Let's do 15 or 20. Well, you can make a different profile in this computer, and it'll have battery 2, or you'll put, you know, Phantom 5200 or 50, you know, Phantom 8200, and you'll know exactly which pack to pick or which charging mode to pick for that pack. This is Randy. Why don't you show us real quick some of this stuff you got over here? So, what is this stuff right here?
Charging leads.
So these are charging leads. Now, tell me, Randy, those look funny. Those don't have any connectors. They don't have EC5s. They don't have, what are the yellow ones?
XT90s.
They don't have XT90s on. How does that work?
This then plugs into in the front of your charger, plugs into your balance port. Obviously, this plugs into the power, negative, positive. These ones are for the battery because they're for the packs that have removable plugs for your hardwire.
Inboard.
Yeah, inboard.
An inboard battery. Yeah. So we've talked about, you know, obviously we want to lower the internal resistance in the pack. We want to do that all across the car with good connectors, big wire, good soldering joints, all throughout the car, and that gives it just the smoothest pass for the electricity to get from the battery to the ESC to the motor. So what Randy's saying here is there's no connector on it because we don't use connectors. This thing's going to plug directly into the battery, okay? And what does one of these go for, Randy?
Charging the wires?
Yeah.
I honestly don't know.
These ones here, these are Protex. These are about $40 a piece. So they're not bad. They're very tough. They're very durable. They'll last forever if you take care of them. Phantom makes some really nice ones. I would highly, if anybody's looking for them, go try and find the Phantom ones. The Phantom ones are on the website. They're second to none. They're really nice. So there's a different way. So I had a little bit different idea. When I figured out that I bought my Icharger, and the guy that turned us on to these, you know, showed me that he had this stuff, I decided, he said, well, there's another way you can do it if you don't like the fact that it's not a duo anymore now that you're doing this. And I said, well, tell me. So I still use mine here as a duo. I can do two different batteries, and tell me what that is right there.
External discharger.
So that's a discharger, a standalone discharger, built-in fan, lights. You can, when you first turn it on, you tell it, you know, exactly where you want the battery to come down to. You press the start button, it discharges the pack to right there. So what I'll do with mine is I'll charge one of my packs at 25 amps. I'll throw it on that after it's done at 25 amps. And then I want to put it back on here at another 25 amps and charge it, and then the pack's ready to run. So why don't we want to discharge at 2 amps, Ricky?
It takes forever for one.
Okay, so what is that
And
equivalent to? Like a light bulb hooked up to your battery? Okay.
And then it doesn't open the
It
IRs.
does nothing for the IR, absolutely. So I don't know if anybody's ever tried to use, heard a little bit about this and tried to use their high-tech or whatever, 10 amp charger at 2 amps for discharge, because that's the highest it'll go. It takes 10 hours to discharge a battery on it. It takes forever. And it's not doing anything. Now, I could see if that's what you had and you thought you were going to go to the park and run 2 packs, and then after 1 pack somebody called you and you had to go, you could use that to discharge a pack so it's not sitting there at full capacity. But either way, if you want to get some of this equipment or equipment period, whether you buy this stuff or not, what you're looking for is you want to be able to charge at 25 or 20 to 30 amps, and you want to be able to discharge at the same rate. So this thing, it gets hot. This will take a full 2S at 844 and completely discharge it down to 760 in about 3 minutes. I mean, it just goes whomp and takes the pack down. And that's what I want. I want to loosen up that rubber flap that's allowing the electricity in and out of the battery so that it flows better. And that's pretty much what we're doing here. Now, tell me, guys, these battery chargers, do I just plug them into the wall? Why can't I plug it into the wall?
It's 12 volt.
It's a 12 volt battery charger. So I hate to do this to you, but can you set this? Actually, why don't you set that back up there? That's the gunslinger. And grab the big 12 volt battery down there.
Stay.
Okay. So you said it's 12 volt battery, Dan. I mean, it's a 12 volt charger. Can I hook it up to
Plug it in.
a 12 volt
plug
battery?
it in.
I said, absolutely. I'll run 1 or 2 of these chargers all day long at the track.
Oy!
It does that.
Boom!
So boom, there you go. It's a 12 volt charger, okay? So wait a minute, Ricky, you don't have a battery over there. How are you running it then?
Power supply.
Okay, this is something that is a must-have in the big racing world. Anybody who's raced at off-road tracks, sedan racing, oval racing, who's got a nicer charger or any other kind of equipment like we're going to show you, this is a power supply. What this does is this hooks into 110, your normal wall plug, and it inside of it breaks it down to 12 volts. Now, is that all you can run on it, Ricky? Really? You can run more off of it. What kind of stuff would you run off of it?
Pit light.
All kinds of shit, right? They got cooling fans. So this thing, so these are some of the extra things you can do once you step into this bigger stuff. So a guy asked me, he's like, well, what if I had a 110 inverter or a 12 volt inverter that I could hook to the battery and then plug the power supply in and then plug the charger? I'm like, no, you wouldn't use 3 components to just do this. If this, you can open the car, the hood on your car on race day and do this. Every other time you charge it, probably start the car and let it run for 20 minutes. But this is a really good way to charge. The only problem with the 12 volt is even though this charger could charge pack after pack after pack nonstop for a week straight before it died to the point to where it would affect this, you always want to get a constant power. So even though the power supply, you have to use 110 for it, it is a even supply of power. It never changes, as to where this will slowly, gradually go down, okay? So running your car while you're using a charger, I know some of you, maybe even this charger right here has a lead, and I can go 12 volt on it too. But it's a good investment to get a power supply. So let's unhook this guy and ditch that freaking Titanic. Okay.
Paul asked if that's the battery you run in your RC car.
What battery? Yeah, that's it, baby. 1 cell.
Oh yeah, we took it out right before the show.
Actually, I think there's 6 cells in that one.
Yeah.
So, where's the cord for this thing?
Don't know. You tell me. Wasn't in the bag.
Oh, you're kidding me. Yeah. Oh, it must be in that box, the silver box.
This box?
Yep.
Don't pinch yourself.
So, when you've bought a bigger charger that's 12 volt, a racing charger, and it's running off a power supply. Nailed it. Why don't you, what do we got? Oh, here, unplug this one out of there and just hand me So now this will do this even with my charger hooked up. It'll run the charger and the light and maybe a fan. These are good little power supplies. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to plug right into here. And basically this all just has bananas, and there's female bananas right here, or females. And then this guy has a really nice, I don't remember how to use it. There we go. So I can dim it. I can change the lights to different kind of, there's snowflake white, there's like kind of like a burnt light, there's like a purple halogen light. That's kind of some of the one I like because it makes stuff kind of pop. But this is kind of cool to have when you're at a pit. You know, anybody who's been into somewhere to race, I mean, this is, I mean, I can get right here and just see every part of that car. You know what I'm saying? Actually, when I'm working in the laboratory, a lot of times you'll find me with my minor light on. But yeah, so the power supply can be running this charger. Let's see.
God, you scared me.
Randy and I were like, what the?
So there you go. This guy's running the light and the charger for 2 batteries. I don't know. I haven't pushed it much past that. But you can get car stands with fans in them. You can.
I run this, the discharger, which plugs into that, and the Icharger, all off of this.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. But you're probably pushing at that point because I think they're only 60s, right? Or 75 or something.
This 75 amp.
75 amp. What is this one? Well, shit, guys. You figured it'd say somewhere.
Mine says right there.
Yeah, I think this is a 60 amp. Mine's a 60 amp. So
Big letters right in front of you.
Well, I was looking everywhere but there. Okay. So yeah, this is a good upgrade. I mean, even it like in broad, you know, most guys are like, what does this have to do with drag racing? We race outside. Well, even outside, if you're bigger racers like we are, Ricky's got a race trailer that we use when we go to races away. Even when you're at a pit table and you're under a shade awning, it still casts a shadow. It's dark, you know, when you're trying to do your gear mesh just right or whatever. That light is just the bee's knees with it. Sorry, he's like, damn you, Dan. So yeah, that's the main way with our charging habits that we are lowering the internal resistance of the battery is to charge at a high rate, which is why we step from that charger to this, because this charger will do a lot more than that charger will. And there's a lot of features of this charger inside the computer with all the buttons that we didn't even touch on. But if you really want to, lower the internal resistance of a battery, get yourself a charger that will do, at least 20 or 25 amps, and then buy a discharger. This one, I don't know, what did this one cost?
They're 120.
Okay, this was like $70.
Yep. This is a lightener. You can find them online.
Dude, that thing's dope. Did you look at it? It's got a radiator system in it and stuff. I mean,
Dude, plug it in. Put your car on storage. Watch it. It's a trip.
Okay. Hang on the car back, Jamie. Yeah, let's just disconnect it.
You just sit right there. Matt was giving me crap, telling me I shouldn't have got the red one. Because Motive is copycat.
Oh.
That's not at 8. What'd you think that battery was at?
Oh, I don't even know. Can't be too far under 8, though.
I'm going to put it in storage mode. Takes a minute for this to kick on.
It's gotta be hot.
It might not even kick on with how... No, that's under load. It's under load.
It's just getting warm already.
Dude, this thing, I put my hand over it, I was like, woo, that's hot.
So there you go. On the cold race days,
It's a hand warmer.
At the end of the year, yeah, it's a little heater in the pit.
It'll kick on in a minute. Once it gets hot to a certain temperature, the fan kicks on.
What is it set at to bring it down to?
770.
That'll work for me.
I put mine on the cycle because I have it set to charge, discharge, charge.
Does it got fancy lights and shit like that one?
Just watch.
Yeah. Here, this one glows all blue and stuff. It's hecka cool.
See if it'll...
So, if you want to get the capabilities that these ones do, and you don't want to blow over $300 plus the power supplies are about, I don't know, about $70, $60, something like that. They're not horrible. What is a Phantom one?
I don't remember what it was.
Okay, they're not too much.
It was like $60.
But by the time you buy the charging leads and you buy the charger and you buy the, you're up to 400 something bucks. So
zoom in on the screen.
The Ichargers, they make a single one that literally is only as big as the screen here, the whole charger. And it does a very good job, and it does the same thing, but it's only a single charger. It's not a dual. So, and I don't remember the number. That's the Icharger what?
Which one?
That one's the 406.
Oh, there it goes.
Cool.
They're lit up. Now feel the heat coming out of that bad boy.
Oh, shit, no.
It'll get even hotter on like when you cycle a battery.
Yeah.
Guys, can you feel that?
Here, put your arm hair back over there.
There is a fan
See if
under
it
there
burns
that
it.
blows the air through.
Oh yeah, the fan on this one is all whoa! It's a big. It's a yeah. It
But
goes.
this lights up red.
This lights up blue.
What are you using for a discharger?
I got one of these.
Do you?
Yeah.
They work great. I love it.
Do I discharge my batteries? No. Why? I don't know.
I don't know why it's got a micro USB in the side. I don't know what you would.
I think you can plug into on the computer. I was reading something on it. I think. Maybe it could be wrong, but I think that's what it was.
Create something else I gotta do.
X6. That's the little one.
The X6. Okay, so Icharger, the Hall company makes a Icharger called the X6 that is a little tiny charger. It does 30 amps just like these.
I think the other name for these is Junsi.
That's it. That's the
Jinsey.
company I need, Jinsey, yeah. So, yeah, does anybody got any questions here?
Pete. the
Zoom in on
dischargers
charger
get hot.
screen.
Yeah, that's the one that took care of.
What is the best and safest amp charge to discharge at? Now here's a big thing. I hope everybody's watching this. I kind of touched on this and I got off into something else. You guys don't want to use a $23 2S Z battery or whatever the batteries are you get off of eBay or Amazon or whatever. Buy a good pack, and here's why. So everybody knows what the discharge rate, the C rating for the discharge rate. You know, it could be 100. You're looking for 100 to 140, 160. I have some packs, and that is how much power is going to come out of it once, as opposed to like a 50C pack, which will last longer, but it's not going to give you the punch that a bigger, higher discharge rate battery. Well, batteries also have a C rating of a charge rate. Let me describe this. So if you have a 5,000 milliamp battery, and it has a 1C charge rate, you can only charge it at 5 amps. But if that 5,000 milliamp battery has a 2C battery charge rate, then you can charge at 10 amps. You can double it. So every time it goes up in a charge rate per C, some packs are 3C and 4C. Well, at 4C, what the industry standard, what the company's telling you with a 4C charge rate, that you can charge at 5,000 milliamp at 20 amps and be safe. Is this a little dangerous? Yes. I don't even know what the C rating is on these.
130.
No, for not discharge,
Oh,
charge.
yeah.
I think that we're totally exceeding the charge rate by doing 20 or 25 amps on this. But I use packs that I know where they've been. I bought them brand new. They've only been charged by me. They've never been hit. They never get poofy. If a pack starts to poof a little bit on you guys gotta remember, this is what I call things that are perishables on a race car. Okay, so gears, tires, bodies, batteries, those are perishables. Those are things that are not going to last forever in the car. So this is one of those things where I'll use my batteries for maybe 30 or 40 cycles, and then I'll sell them. Are they still a great battery? Yeah, I wouldn't sell a bad battery, or I wouldn't give a bad battery to somebody who needed one. But what is going on out there?
Sprinklers? Sound like someone with a hose.
Oh. But yeah, so really watch the charge rate. What C rating is your battery? I wouldn't take a $30 eBay battery that has a 1C charge rate and charge it at 25 amps. And you could try, but
I got a battery that can try it.
You're
It'll
asking
look like
you're
the
asking
ones
for trouble.
from
So if
my
you go with a Phantom, which I would recommend, or a Trinity or whatever, these are bigger name brand companies, and I always, it's you get what you pay for on race day, I wear my Proline face shield when I charge my batteries. Yeah, R1 makes a great battery.
I have mine just set for 15 amps.
Can you charge and discharge a Phantom 5600 130C shorty pack like you do the Phantom 8200 long pack? I wouldn't go as high as 30 amps on that, but yeah, it's a race pack. You could be able to do 15 or 20 amps out of it and be able to push it. And that was asked by. I don't like those. I don't like. I like these ones. I don't know why, but that one's solid. So whatever you push it into is going to become its form.
Step down to 4 mil, and it goes
It's
up to
got
5
4
mil.
or 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, these ones are nice. Which is cool. That is the cool thing about them, is you have both sizes. You know what I'm saying? That's the badass part. So, and that's obviously a buying point too. And what we're talking about, guys, is this right here. This is only designed to fit in a battery with a 5mm opening, and his are stepped down, so it'll fit a 4 and a 5. See how that one's just a 5, and that one's a 4 and a 5. So anyway.
And I only have one pack that has 4.
Hold on a second. Why don't you tell the camera anything else you've noticed about the Icharger, why you went to it, or why Randy should go to it?
Yeah, talk it up, son. Talk it up.
I use my $30 10 amp single charger.
What I like about this whole setup is when we went to Vallejo and raced, I had the little Icharger X6 or whatever it was, and I had to plug the battery in, charge it, and then I had to hook it up to a discharger, and then I had to plug it back into the charger.
Yeah.
This thing, I plug it in, push the button, and it cycles it. I can walk away, come back, and it's done. So it's just a easier, charges faster than
He's thinking.
the high techs.
Next purchase.
No, well, I've already wanted one for a while. Quite a while.
Even if you got the little one.
Well, he pits with
You
us.
got the
He uses
discharger,
one
yeah.
of ours.
Right.
Yeah.
I think I need to buy one now.
I think Rick Turner should PM me about that one from.
Oh!
Was it?
Fail.
Lake nprc, guys. What's up, guys?
Because Eric, his buddy Eric that passed away, he says he has one that he can get from Eric's wife.
Let's grab his tire again. Let me see his tire.
It's sticky.
Oh my god, so even...
I've been touching it like crazy too. You can lift it off the table.
So...
See if it picks up a piece of paper.
Here, come here. Just right here on that side, what do you feel on your fingers afterward? Nothing, right? Now do the other side.
Oh, that's sticky as all get
You
out.
feel that on your fingers still?
Yeah.
Makes
That's
it feel weird.
So if you're leaving it on Jamie's hands, you're leaving it on the ground. It's true. So if it comes off on my hands, then I know that it's going to come off the ground, which means you're prepping the lane every time you go down it.
Yep.
Pete brought up a good point. One thing I like about this charger is that you can set to just balance the cells.
Oh.
What's up, Brandon Small is going to come down and race with us. He's going to go for the list. Yeah, that's you know what Pete Kentinelli, that's what you're talking about?
Yeah.
So Pete writes, you can also balance the cells and read the IR of the battery with the Icharger. That's right. So what the actual, what we're trying to achieve, we can actually read that while it's charging or discharging or whenever the battery's hooked up to it. And that one you can't. Oh no, you know what? I think you can with that one.
But you can check the IR with that one.
Can you?
No, the tire's not sticky.
You're magical.
So I have one of these. I have an X1. The X1 of these I got within a.
You can check.
trade.
You can check IR and balance only on that, but this actually gives you a reading of what each individual cell is, and it'll sit there and peak it till it's perfect.
I will say, for our upcoming race that's coming up day after tomorrow on Father's Day, for the rest of the races of the year, we have been rigorously testing and tweaking and testing. Every time we go out, we go through $200 or $300 worth of tires. We're really logging some data. These cars are disgustingly fast right now. We are freaking bringing it. Lining up next to one of these cars is going to be like holding onto a freaking lightning bolt. These things are savage. This car is so freaking fast. I mean, I ran it the other night, and I couldn't believe it. I mean, where this car's going with this Phantom motor and this R1 speed control. The Digital 3 is what I'm running now. A lot of you know that I was a factory-sponsored hobby wing driver. I got away from them because I felt like they're great speed controls. I love the XR10 Pro. If you have one in your car, awesome. You have a high performance racing speed control. The only problem is I always had a little bit in reserve. And I've helped out so many people at my local track that now these guys have become so fast that they become my competitors when they weren't before. And I had to step it up a little bit. And then, you know what I'm saying? And then they'd want some more help. And I would do the nice thing. I'd say the dumb thing, but the nice thing, and help them out, and they'd be right there behind me again. Well, I got to the point with the XR10 Pro where there was no more fences to jump over. I was walking back to my pit going, dude, I'm going to blow my shit up if I go up one more degree. I mean, I don't know how much more is in this. It's Russian roulette at this point. And I didn't like that. I wanted to have something that put out the same power and gave me more tuning capabilities and had more in reserve, and that's what I found with the Digital 3. So that's why I went to R1. It has nothing to do with a hobby wing product. I love hobby wing products. They make great products. I have a lot of their stuff and my other stuff. But for my drag car, it gets a Digital 3. And I'm, not to say that a Tekin or XR10 Pro, couldn't beat this thing. It all depends on the race day and who tuned them and what's going on that day specifically. But for my car, I went to a Digital 3, and I know a lot of guys have seen that happen in the last month, and a lot of guys have jumped on the bandwagon with Steve at R1, and I think that I helped that out a lot, along with a couple of our other guys that are local here. And in Vegas, so that's what I'm running. That's what I'm going to be. Just the whole package. It's savage. It's it's the thing is just ridiculous. It's she's a good car. So got another car coming to 707 Streetcar soon. See it at a track near you in a couple months. The Patriot. Patriot is under the scalpel right now, being built. And she's this was a sister car. Cloned off of the Ghost, but with even a little bit more technology in it. And the next one is going to be the same thing over this. It's going to be another clone of what we do here, but it's going to have some other new ideas I've had implemented into it. So,
we got a question. Tire's got two different traction compound additives on it. We got Stick It, and then what was the other one?
Protect Red.
Protect Red.
Protect Red.
Project Red over here, and the Stick It was the.
So what happened to the Protect Red, Randy? It's like totally dried, right?
It's dry. So
it's not going to leave anything. What it's done is it's cleaned and really, really just brought that to a completely 110% sanitized surface to bring the most out of the traction of the natural rubber that's in the tire. The other side is just, it's still sticky. We wanted to show you the difference between something that goes away and is legal and something that I think that I would probably call somebody on. So
you can't wipe it off either. It's a chemical. So it's not water-based. It's chemicals.
So if you're not sure if whatever you use in your neck of the woods and you plan on coming out to Race Wars meets the criteria of being illegal, do whatever you do with your tires to them and then feel them. Go wash your hands and then feel your tires. And if you can feel sticky after you've washed your hands and touched the tires, then I'm gonna flag you. So it is true no prep, guys. We don't want anything on anybody's tires. And like the guy reached out to me, one of my buddies that reached out to me about rewording the, either abide by our rules or get lost. Maybe I said it a little bit harsh. I think the way I wrote it, I didn't really, see it from that point of view. And I totally get that point of view. But It's to be. I have to be strict with rules and laws of the game. That's what makes them rules and laws. If I let somebody get away with this right here, then somebody's going to try and get away with VHT or something, and it's just not fair. So. Yeah, other than that, I don't care what battery you run, as long as it's a 2S. I don't care what cap pack. I would recommend flash pack. I don't care what ESC you run. I would recommend R1 Digital 3. I don't care what motor you're running. An Icon 2 by Phantom. But as long as you guys know what the rules are. So I want everybody to have fun at race day, and I definitely don't want to have to pull anybody aside. And I want all the racers that come, the 40 or 50 from our neck of the woods. And the 20 to 40 people that come from out of state and around the area that fly in and travel in. I want everybody to go out and run in the rules and have a good day and see what they really got. So,
Jared's got a question. If you charge in between rounds, I try to charge in between rounds if possible.
Charge in between rounds. So you're gonna charge right here.
Right there.
Okay.
Not much space, but just enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always try to charge in between rounds if I can, or swap out battery packs if I can't charge.
My car goes right back on the charger.
Yeah, I have no doubts at all that this car will completely 110% hold my crown this upcoming weekend. So I'm really confident in her. She's super fast, probably the fastest car. We have cars, guys, that are going so fast that we're starting to surpass the technology. And I won't get into that too much, other than to say that even though there might be 10 companies that make one part, and 3 of them are heavy-hitting stuff, and it's really good stuff, and that's what a majority of the guys are using, we're surpassing that stuff now. And unless some new technology comes out, I see us hitting a wall of technology with some stuff. As far as tires go or gears go or whatever it might be that you think it is that I'm talking about, there is some technology that we're using in these cars that is on the borderline of not being able to work at all because it's just so powerful. Yeah. Rounds. Pew, 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 pew. Want to see what some big ones look like?
Randy. Pew pews.
It's a good caliber, dude. Then the 1911 comes in what?
A lot.
The 38, the 9.
Don't make me
They do a
pull that
40, right?
I don't know if
I think they do. I've seen
Randy,
49
a
ones
lot.
before.
45.
That 45
45,
standard.
maybe that's what it is,
That's,
yeah.
that's like OG what they
He didn't have a 9
first
yet?
made it.
Oh, he did. Bring it back, I want a 9.
It was a CZ9.
I want a Nina.
It wasn't a 1911.
Oh.
It was a Czech Republic.
Yeah, I don't know if I would do that. I know what you're going to do, but I would do that.
I don't want to so bad.
I think they. Oh yeah.
Next
10
episode.
millimeter.
The next episode will be
10
on
millimeter.
guns.
These are new wheel nuts.
Oh my God.
Yeah, right? Hey, all I can say is whoever's got to race me this Sunday, I'm going to do the best I can with what I've put into this car, but you better hit bullseye because this kid ain't playing. I mean, this thing is rolling. It's just so fast. It's stupid. I should rename the car from Gunslinger to Stupid. Here we go.
Okay.
Thank you.
Oh, you got
And everybody, Randy and Ricky, and Randy's probably the fastest associated guy I've ever met, hands down. I've never seen an associated car. I've never seen videos. I've never heard of anybody that can outrun Randy's associated car. If Associated wants to continue to do serious stuff, above and beyond the DR10, as far as like a team kit or whatever for drag racing, do yourself a favor and contact Randy.
Randy McFrackin Rhodes.
Yeah.
you have a question, Dan.
Yeah.
If you have a fresh Phantom 5600 130C shorty pack for every pass, can you explain why you say a Phantom long pack that you say has a bigger gas tank is going to be better pack? Do I still need to go to a long pack even though I have a fresh shorty pack does a long 8200?
Look,
Just
I
have
know what
more
he's asking
gas.
there. I know what he's asking there. He's obviously using shorty packs. He wants to know what is the big deal with having to go to the big pack, and I'll tell you why. I can't explain what it is about the battery that does it. I just know that with with my experience, and that is probably more experience than anybody out there that's watching this has. And I don't want to talk bad about anybody because this has nothing to do with this guy or anybody specifically. If you're running in a group and you're using a shorty pack and they're using shorty packs and you're the fastest of the pack, you're the leader of the pack, well, in your area, I get that. But if you have to really lean on that car to go race another area that's faster or to make your car faster, a shorty pack is not going to get you there. And here's how I know that other people aren't leaning on their cars like we are. A shorty pack will not even do one pass in that gunslinger car right there. It won't do it in the Ghost. It won't do it in the other car that you got too lazy and didn't name.
Phantom.
Oh, it is the Phantom.
Yes. Phantom.
Well, months ago when you did the red body and you're like, look, Phantom. I'm like, yeah, I know it's got a Phantom motor. Shut up. Okay, it's the
I
Phantom.
haven't spelt the difference because I didn't want to.
Or do you mean the Phantom? I could charge probably one of the best shorty packs on the market that's sitting in my house right now. And whether it's a Phantom or a Trinity, my car is so on tilt that it would totally act as if the lipo cutoff that is turned off in my car all of a sudden came on, or if I didn't have a cat pack and it was the hardest low ripple you've ever seen. It would take off with not the same power as a full-size 2S, but it would still move, okay? It would get up and boogie, but it would get out about 70 or 80 feet, and the thing would go, bah! And it would just be too much. It would not be enough battery to keep up with the demand that I'm asking from it. What it is about these packs, I don't know. I've done extensive experimenting with shorty packs. Why? Because they're lighter. Our last video, we explained why you want your car light, but not too late. So if you want to know more about that, go watch the last video. But anytime in the cars, you know, we put all this money and time into making them light, and the optimal thing would be to take some of the average componentry that does not change. A motor's always going to weigh what it weighs. An ESC is always going to weigh what it weighs. A battery's always going to weigh what it weighs. Whether it's a Trinity or a Max Amps or a Phantom, there's always going to be a mass of a battery in the car. So I get one to use a shorty pack. I had that same idea 2 years ago, and I bought probably $500 worth of the best pack because I got one, it did it. I do another pack, did it. Went back to a standard 2S, didn't do it at all. Went back to a shorty, did it. There was just no shorty pack that would keep up with the tilt of demand and the level of performance that my car is demanding from a shorty pack, no matter the manufacturer or performance level of the pack. And I have to say, anybody that is going out and going, dude, my car's running fine, I'm going fast. Well, your car is fast at 55 miles an hour, but 55 and 65 is a big difference in a race. And you know, and these guys that aren't leaning, if some of these guys want to know how we're getting that extra bit and they want to buy a bigger pack, then get a bigger pack and get a hold of me, and I'll help you put that extra tune in it that will allow you to benefit from having that bigger pack. But the difference in the weight between the shorties and a full size pack isn't much. I mean, it's 40 grams or so, you know, which is the weight of your spur gear and your slipper clutch assembly, you know. So yeah, if you run a shorty pack and you've always run a shorty pack and you just don't know, get yourself a full-size 2S and go run the car, man. You're going to be like, wow, he's right. It just feels like it's got more power. It's got more hit. It's got more longevity. It's got more travel. The turbos can open up bigger in the big end. They just, you know, and it's the same reason why, look at you know, an average shorty pack is what, 4,000 milliamp or so, okay? And you can get them up to 52, 56, and those are great packs for maybe some other kind of racing. But in this one, if you notice the bigger 2S's, they'll go up to 8,500 or 8,600 milliamp. They're a bigger gas tank. Well, that really is, you know, it's the same reason why my car wouldn't make a full hit on a 770 pack, because there's just not enough left in it. Well, even a fully charged shorty, there's just not enough in it to make that car do what it does when she dances. So, I hope 5,000 milliamp shorty versus 5,000 milliamp STD though. Same thing. There's going to be it's a different cell. Even though they're rated both at 5,000 milliamps, the 2S pack is gonna be able to do more inside of the car. And last time, I don't think I've ever seen anybody run a full size 2S that was 5,000 milliamp. Yeah. What does Jack Klobler mean by hurts my head? Like,
too much information, maybe?
So Christian Radjecki, I can't pronounce his name. I don't want to murder his name. He's saying, what about a 6,000 milliamp shorty versus a 5,000 milliamp standard pack? Well, you would never do that. You'd never see that lineup. I think that it would probably take a 5,000 milliamp 50C battery to be equal to a 6,500 milliamp shorty pack. I mean, there's that big a difference there. These guys are acting super technical. What's my voltage drop at full throttle, and what is my amps? I'm almost up to 400 amps on a pull, so that's as far as we're going to get into that. I need Christian to still chime in and tell us what he's talking about. R1 has a 6,000 milliamp shorty. Yeah, they do. It's a great pack. I would totally run it in a two-wheel drive buggy class, maybe a 13.5 spec class or something like that. It'd be a great pack. But not in drag racing. It's too heavy of a car. It's like you wouldn't take the gas tank off of your lawnmower and bolt it into your Mustang road race car and expect to go out and win with it. It's just not going to work. What's up, Rich Levant? Rich is watching. Anything else you guys want to chime in here, guys? Have you guys ever tried a shorty pack in your cars?
No. I have some, but they're for the buggies.
Yeah. Pete Catelli said 10K R1, so I'm assuming that R1 has a 10,000 milliamp 2S battery.
I got a 10,500.
Christian Rajeski makes a good point. He says talking about physical size and is what matters. And I get that. There's a lot of guys. I went into my last thing on why I would suggest somebody get a rear motor car. But some of the guys that are running the mid motor cars, there is only so much room in the chassis. They run shorty packs just like the buggy or short course truck that was mid engine that it is replicating or built off of. It was designed to hold a shorty pack, and that's what it holds. I would suggest coming up with a custom mount to hold a full size 2S, or changing the chassis out. I mean, if I can't fit the big block in my small block drag car and I need to go faster because the firewall's in the way, guess what I'm doing? I'm getting my Sawzall and my plasma cutter out, and I'm cutting the firewall out. Anything to add, guys?
Is the tire still sticky?
It is. Here, it's sticking to the...
I'll pick this up.
That's wet.
Oh.
It's pretty sticky.
Jam.
Oh, he's one of those. Okay. Born Paul Peterson. Gee, Paul, I sure hope you're drinking. That's awesome. Let's take this apart. What time is it? So we have our... Well, I can't say our first list race because we had our first list
We had our
race.
second list race this year.
Yeah.
Our second.
Our first one was
6
in
months.
February, the beginning of February, or no, third weekend is February because that's when we race. I came back and held my crown, and then the COVID thing hit, and we haven't raced since, and we've all been eagerly awaiting our race day, and it finally happens this Sunday, which is Father's Day. So yeah, we're pretty eager to go racing.
Whoa.
Nailed it.
Yep.
Happy early Father's Day, you
Second
crazy
race.
kids.
Are you bringing Chase and Noah to the race?
Icharger duo, 406 duo, Robert.
I mean, but
I haven't seen him forever.
Chase's car is on a mission, dude. Like,
Yeah, this is an 11-year-old kid that I would see out of the 2 rounds of Eliminator this Sunday being the first kid under 12 to ever be on our list. I mean, this kid's he's fast. He's
got a few good car builders behind him.
Got a good gene pool.
Timothy Turnbaugh. Oh, Hunter.
Oh.
I would ask Tim Terry if you could duct tape your car to his because you're going to need it. It's going to be a shootout. But yeah, I have no problem seeing me defending my spot on Sunday. None at all. Timothy writes, I have a Proline Nova body, and now I'm getting ready to order me a Shark RC Cherry Bomb body. Do it, Tim. You won't be sorry. These bodies are awesome.
Chris Silva, what time do you expect racing to finish up this Sunday? Depends on how many people we have, I'm guessing. More people, the longer each round's going to be.
Isn't it like 3 o'clock?
Randy, who makes your standalone discharger?
This is a
Sky RC.
Sky RC.
So Scar RC is kind of an RC niche market company. They make discharger. They make the scale weight systems with the board that reads, just gives you a readout. They make the motor analyzer. They make a GPS unit. They make a bunch of different stuff. That's just really cool stuff.
Not sure how much they copy other people's stuff, but they do have a lot of stuff that's similar to a lot of other branded stuff.
Yeah.
Like the analyzer. I think the analyzer are all exactly the same, though, because there's like 3 different brands that all look identical to the Sky RC analyzer.
Well, I bought that one over a year ago, and I haven't had a Actually, I took it to a sedan race, and I was using inboard plugs, and it was really dark in there, and I didn't have my light with me. I left it at home, and I plugged the battery into it backward, and I heard this loud pop, and I just bought it. I'm like, son of a bitch! I blew it up! Well, I came home, and I took the bottom off, and it actually had a 40-amp fuse inside, so I got really lucky there, and it keeps on booking. So, what do you got going over there, bud?
No, I was checking. Friend of mine I used to build trucks with. I don't know if he's still watching.
Breathing kind of heavy. I thought maybe you were watching Cops.
Yeah, getting ready to run. Nah, I've known this guy for a very long time, and he messaged me. He was buying his first car. So.
Ooh, Robert Witter's trying to start some drama between me and my gang. I bet the guys on either side of you would say differently about holding that spot. Well, we'll see, you know?
Oh my gosh.
It's been a long reign at the top. It's been 2 seasons that I've been at the top of the list. So, you know, it's not going to last forever. But
my only downfall is that I haven't changed anything on my car.
What is that? I don't see. Let me put it this way.
I could fly.
At this point, from what I've seen in our testing and what I know and who I know, I don't see me losing my spot to anybody but one of these guys. So that's all I got to say about that. Yeah, not worried about anybody else on the list. Even the guy sitting behind me. Not worried. Not worried.
I'm behind you.
But have you seen this button? You're right. So, yeah, currently on our list, I'm sitting in first, and Randy's sitting in third. And Ricky here, the last time we raced, you know, you can only get so high in a certain day, and then the race ends, and that's it. It's not like you can sit there and call somebody out to get on the list and keep going up. And Ricky, his first time out, came out and got all the way up to 7th on the list. So, our plan is to end the race day Sunday on Father's Day as 1, 2, and 3.
Oh. Pete says one thing about the Ichargers: don't let the leads touch when in keep mode. It will blow out that channel.
No, that's not good. Sounds like he's talking from experience.
Yeah,
That's not good.
yeah. This is no good.
Sorry about your channel, man. Yeah.
Willie, I'm third on the list.
You know what? You know what I'm gonna do on Sunday? I'm gonna have
Race?
fun. It's Father's Day, man. I just want to have some fun. You know. Ooh, Rick Turner's calling you out. He said, "Look out, Randy."
Yep.
What?
We're always right there, back and forth,
What?
back and forth.
Like one of the officers says to me all the time. I'll say it to you guys. You're high.
It's anybody's race.
Hey man, we're gonna do the best we can, just like anybody.
See, everybody else
out
is like
there,
changing their
you know?
tech and getting more fancy and this and that. I have the tech, I just don't use it because mine's still working. So I'm that
Randy doesn't want to
I'm
change
that
it.
idiot that won't change it because something still works.
And
Whether or not it's comparable.
But then you'll have this ghost constantly following you around the pit, going, "How long is it gonna work for?" And that's what got
Randy
me.
until it
Works as
breaks.
long as it does.
That's
I mean,
what got me to switch up some stuff. Like I was scared to death to get it. Even when I bought the R1 Digital 3, it was sitting there for a month before
I've
I
got
even.
two of them. And
Finally, just said, "You know what?" I went to that one last. We went to actually
Vallejo.
the Vallejo.
Yeah.
The cash race in Vallejo, and I'm in the I don't know, right down at the end, semifinals, semifinals, or whatever. And I'm lining up next to this guy, and I hit the throttle, and the car goes out 10 feet and stops. And then I do the steering. I'm like, what the? It turned off. I figured maybe one of my battery plugs came out. So I walk up to the car and I look down at it, and as soon as I looked down at it, I saw the holy spirit of smoke
magic
coming out
smoke.
of the ESC. And I'm like, you know what? That's it, dude. I'm done burning these ESCs up. I switched over to the Digital 3, and that was kind of scary to do because I had to learn the tech all over. But I had the owner of the company who designed a speed control working hand in hand with me to get that car right back up to where it needs to be and beyond then. And if you guys think that what I was running in the first race of this year or last season and the Ghost was fast, you ain't seen nothing yet, because this stuff is going to rotate the earth. This stuff is so... We're going to either rotate the earth or blow the car up doing it.
You ain't seen nothing yet.
You ain't seen nothing yet.
I'm gonna make the judgment that it's bedtime.
Right? Everybody's on
For
snooze.
Paul, anyway.
But that guy don't sleep.
Yeah. Paul Peterson's asking, what about 70? I think we're
We're getting there.
we're getting there, but like I said, we're hitting some walls with technology, tire tech being one of them. Let's face it, nobody makes the perfect tire. And until somebody does, that's the one thing holding it back right now, is the tires. We're squeezing every last drop out of these tires. Let me put it this way. I warned people when they started following me, what kind of tires you run, what kind of tire, and I finally started telling people, I said, you know what, now that you know what I run, be ready to buy $200 worth at a time, because you're going to get 6 or 8 runs out of them, and you're going to have to change the tires out. And now I'm getting 2 to 4 runs out of them. I mean, the motors are just ripping through tires. So, I mean, you more than likely, if in the next couple months you line up next to me or come out to a race, you'll see my car hit the ground every single time with a brand new set of tires. So, because you just can't risk it. So there's too much on the line. Yeah, I think Justin Holt has a watch party going with 18 people in it
Nice.
that are not included in the 40 of this, I don't think. Speed costs money. How fast do you want to go? I don't know, Paul. Are you going to put the body molds aside and start molding his tires? Because that's what needs to happen. That would be awesome, dude. You know, I don't know. The tires is a huge problem right now. So, not that we can't get them, not that we don't have them. It's just we're hitting the wall with technology. The tires are only so wide, and they're only made out of a certain technology. And you know, once you try everything on the market and you lean towards one brand or one kind of tire, you're going to get to a wall with that tire or that battery or whatever it is that the part is, where that's just what it does. That's what it does. You're not getting any more out of it. So, and that's the threshold that we're passing right now.
Jordan, we race on asphalt, no concrete.
Yeah, we don't have nothing.
Concrete's for malls.
Yeah.
Asphalt for racing.
We don't have any concrete out here at all. I know they're
there's spots, but not enough. I don't
in the
think.
Midwest and stuff. They have like our 101. They have concrete highways, and we just don't.
Well,
have
you
that
get
here.
giant patches up 101 that are concrete now, up north.
Where?
All the way at Healdsburg North. Every like right before every like overpass, they put in a huge sections of concrete.
But we can't run in the fast lane on a
Why
little
not?
slow
There
lane.
was something on
That's
Facebook
two
about
lanes.
that you posted.
Go out there, shut down the road real quick, and race, and then get back in the car and run off like
And
actual
go
street
and
racers
run,
do.
Yeah. Yeah.
The cops catch up to you. What are you doing? Racing RC cars.
Yeah. There was a video that somebody shared with me when I saw or something.
Where they're in the car and they're videoing it, right?
Oh yeah, watch
Yeah.
the
It's
car
going
down
down
the
the
highway.
I've done it. I had a girlfriend named Lisa years ago, and I've always had some hot RC cars, and
Here, I'm
she
thinking
was hot
girlfriend.
too. But one of the things she loved to do it too. So I'd put I had like a TC3 sedan car or whatever. It had a hot modified in it, the big battery, and it was super fast and it handled good. And I would drive it out. She had a little Toyota Corolla with a sunroof, and I would kind of brace myself in there with my foot against the dash and stuff, and holding the remote. I'd be like, "Okay, catch it," and we would chase through parking lots at night, and she'd be trying to catch this thing, dude. And it was so fun. I've done a highway run. It did not go as smoothly as that one. That's all I'm going to say about that. But yeah, it's cool. And there's that one video where the guy's got the 5th scale HPI car in Vegas, and it's all under camera. It's like so awesome. He's probably sitting up in some high rise somewhere. Rick Turner says start a sidewalk race. Why, Rick? You want to get on that list too? Sidewalk crew, sidewalks.
Hey, they'll come up with a shirt.
That's funny. Yeah,
I don't think there's anybody on more lists than Rick Turner.
No, Rick's
He's trying to hold that title.
Rick's
He's on every list that's in his reach.
He's a list whore, dude. He's on it.
Hey,
Rick's done good.
you got a race list over there?
Hey, I'm ready for the race lists.
I got $40.
That guy made so much money off of us in Vegas.
Vegas. Up and down.
He was
I got
hustling.
$20. I got $20 on the go.
50 on Riley.
All you can hear. You're up there getting ready to pull the trigger on that light, and you hear him, I got 40!
I'm telling you what.
He got horsed after that.
We're on the show for next week, Paul. He says, "What's on the show for next week?" Us.
We don't talk about that.
Here,
That's how we
wait.
keep people coming back.
You're looking at this guy, oh, and him over here.
Don't look at me, I'm...
Picking?
Yeah. Skin off new tattoos.
Yeah, say he's got new
Yeah.
tattoos.
I was
Looking
gonna
little-
say, I
little
didn't
peely
see.
over there.
Yeah.
Looking a little itchy.
That's 2 hours of 20 hours of work
I
coming
like
up.
the seahorse. That's
That's a little
cute.
itchy.
On the shark.
Shark. Puffer fish.
Where are you gonna
turtle.
put
Well, I
next
thought
year
it
if
was a
you
spiky
win?
balsa.
Look at the turtle.
I love the pufferfish. He's awesome. And the turtle's pretty cute too. I bet Noe loves him, huh?
Shit.
She didn't color him.
When I
That's
was
only
in-
2 hours worth of work. I still got 18 more to go.
When my daughter, when I was
Oh my-
young, when my oldest that's here was younger, she used to love to take the pens and color my arms in and stuff, color everything in, because most of my tattoos are black and white.
Yeah.
But no,
This will all be colored and everything will be done. All the way up. Inside, out, the whole way.
Brandon Small said, "I thought Rick sold all his cars." I guess not, Brandon. I don't know. Rick, did you sell any of your cars? I think he sold one car.
He sold one. I think he sold one the Super J.
Yeah.
Now got 4 more.
Yeah. Let me see that chassis right there.
Dun, 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 dun. Ooh.
This is going to be the Patriot right here. It's a Black Widow RCRI. Full aluminum. I got some
hardware.
Some new tricks up my sleeve. Yeah, hardware. Some new tricks up my sleeve for this one. Yeah, she's gonna be fast car. Yeah, time. I don't have a time on my. Oh, wait a minute.
9:45.
That's it.
Time for bed.
Yeah.
I'm going fishing in the morning.
Again?
Hell yeah, gotta chase that
It's
pink meat.
It's that time of year.
Wow, you know Tina's watching.
Oh, she knows too.
She knows all about the pink meat.
We'll try limiting the boat tomorrow.
I like where this is going.
We're gonna try to limit the boat tomorrow.
You gonna do what?
Try to limit the
it
boat.
out.
Are you taking one or two boats?
2 boats. We're trying to limit.
Henry and Joe?
Well, the boat I'm captaining, we're trying to limit out.
Which one are you
I'm gonna try to
captaining?
limit my boat. Well, my buddy's boat that I'm the captain of.
No, Randy's just nominated as the driver.
The driver.
I'm the permanent captain.
Yes. We should get you a hat.
No,
Oh my god.
I've got a lot of hats.
And get you another hat that's Gilligan. They'll be like Gilligan.
3 hours.
Tour. I'll get you a polo shirt and everything.
Well, I guess if nobody's got any other questions, we're gonna have to bid you adieu, Facebook family.
That's all, folks.
To all my local racers, Hunter, everybody, we'll see you guys Sunday. We'll have some fun, and have a good week, everybody.
All goes well. All goes as planned.
Happy
You'll see me
Father's
holding
Day.
fish
Happy
up above.
Father's Day, everybody. Yeah, thank you, Jamie.
Over and
Over.